cry, don't cry, don't cry. Hey guys, that didn't work out. Hey guys, so I just watched Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, which is the sequel to the famous classic with Robin Williams, and I actually I watched this movie last night, but I didn't review it because I was pretty busy after I watched the movie. The reason I didn't feel like it was not because I didn't like the movie. I actually did have a great time with this movie, but it was Christmas Day yesterday, and I was just like, I'm just gonna relax. I'm not gonna review anything. So here we go. Now I have my review of Jumanji 2. So I saw the first Jumanji when I was like really, really little, and all I remember is when the movie ended, I was really scared. And I don't know if the movie was supposed to be scary, but when I was little, it really scared the crap out of me. And so that's pretty much all I remembered. But as I kept watching Jumanji 2, there were some things in this movie that I remembered from the first movie that they also had in this. And this, at first, like from the trailers and everything, I had thought that Jumanji 2 was going to be a completely separate story with separate like characters and everything. It is separate characters, but I thought it would literally have nothing from the first Jumanji. It would just be a completely new thing. They just sort of remade this world of Jumanji with a video game instead. But actually, they still have the board game in there in the beginning. I won't say like what happens and everything, but it's pretty cool how they did it, and it is a pretty good sequel in my opinion. I really don't think it's better than the original Jumanji, but there's a lot of moments in Jumanji 2 that are sort of like nostalgia moments from the first one, and it was just a great time for me. Standouts in this movie, I think the person who had the best acting in this movie was Jack Black. He had to play a girl trapped in a middle-aged man's body, and he was amazing at it. He provided a lot of comedy in there, and so did The Rock at times. But the funniest character in this movie, in my opinion, was Kevin Hart's character. He was just so funny because in real life, before they get sucked into this video game, because in Jumanji 2, instead of them being sucked into the board game, it's the video game that they're sucked into when they choose their characters. They sort of become their characters. And in real life, there is this one character, Fridge, and he is sort of this really strong dude. And then there is Spencer, who is like sort of weaker than him, and he's just like he just does his homework for him and stuff. He doesn't really because Fridge isn't doing very well in school or whatever. But when they get zapped into the game, Spencer becomes the way stronger one. He becomes The Rock, and Fridge becomes like Kevin Hart, which makes for some really good comedy in this movie. And I also did like Karen Gillan in this movie. And there's a scene, it's not a spoiler, but there's a scene because Jack Black's character, Bethany, he's playing the girl. He wants her to sort of flirt with the guards, but in real life she's not very good at talking to guys, but Bethany is. So it's a scene where Jack Black just has to sort of teach her how to flirt, and the way Jack Black does it is so funny, but also the way she sort of understands what she's supposed to do is also really funny. Honestly, the villain in this movie was actually not bad. I actually did like him. He wasn't the best villain, but like he was good for what this movie was trying to give us. Um, and just the main important thing is I just really had a fun time with this movie. I recommend seeing it. I wouldn't say like you need to like really just rush out to theaters to see it, but I did have a very enjoyable time watching this movie. And I know I'm kind of making it seem like it's not like that great of a movie. It's just a fun time. But I did really enjoy myself, and there was a lot of good things that a sequel should have. So I will say that Jumanji 2 was a great time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will have my best movies of the year list and maybe a worst of the year, although I don't have like 10 worst of the year. I will for the best, but for the worst of the year, I don't know how many. Like, I haven't watched like that many really bad movies this year because 2017 has been a great year, but stay tuned for those. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. I'd really appreciate it if you did. And as always, have a great day. Peace out.
Welcome to the jungle.